What's up guys, and thank you so much for watching another video from Sterling Tech guys. A huge shout out to everybody who's actually supported our channel recently and helped us reach 100 subscribers. Just a quick video for you today guys. If like me you've got quite a lot of good data on your hard drive and you want to make a quality backup, so as you can see I've got a Windows 7 setup here and I've got quite a few expensive games that are on my setup at the minute. So I had all these games, about 15-16 top quality games, and I also had my Origin launcher which has got more games data on there. So I needed to make a quality backup of my operating system so that I don't lose, just in case if I had a hard drive failure or a crash, and I wouldn't end up actually losing all of my data. I've also got some video editing software, some quite precious videos and software which I've actually managed to download. So I wanted to make an exact clone of this hard drive, but I wanted to make a slight upgrade because this is actually an old-fashioned existing hard drive. It's a 500 GB standard Western Digital hard drive, which I'll try and just show you. So it's slotted into my PC. There's two of them there at the moment. So I've got a Western Digital and I have another very similar 500 GB hard drive connected with SATA cables and power cables inside my PC. So first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to upgrade it to an SSD drive, which is one of these. Guys, I managed to pick this one up from, you can get this one from Argos, from Amazon, from eBay. This is a 500 GB Samsung SSD 860 EVO. And it cost around £70, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, maybe £75 mark. I actually paid 77 for it from Argos, so it wasn't too dear. And I went for Samsung because I really do like their hard drives and their reliability is second to none. So you can get slightly cheaper ones if you wish, maybe a Kingston or a SanDisk for about maybe 50 odd pounds for similar 500 GB capacity. But I decided to go with Samsung just for the sake of quality, because they're actually a very reliable maker. Just bear with me while I try and get it out for you. There we go. So there we go guys. Now the very first thing that you need to make sure is that you've got a hard drive of the same capacity. So I had roughly about 365 GB used on my old hard disk, so I needed to make sure that I get an SSD drive that covers that capacity. You don't want to get something that doesn't have enough space, otherwise you'll be struggling. You'll have to delete some of your files and folders, and you'd have to compress them or make more space, and if you don't want to lose some of that data, it's just best to probably be on the safe side. So I had 365 GB of data and I bought a 500 GB SSD drive for £77, and that should cover my needs. The next thing that you need to do is to install this very useful software, which is actually available for free on 30-day trial period. It's called Macrium Reflect, and just type in Macrium Reflect and go through their website. You need to register your email address, which takes about 5 minutes. They will send you a password and a CD key, which you'll have to type in on their website, and you can download the software. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes just to download it. There is an option to buy, but if you're just making a one-off clone of your disk or a copy of your entire content, then you don't really need a license to buy. But in future, if you did want to do so, you certainly can do, and it is an absolutely amazing software to use and prevents you from the nightmare of losing all your data. Once you've done that guys, you'll come to a screen like this. This is the Macrium software sort of downloading screen. So at the moment it's showing that I've got two disks connected inside my computer. I have my MBR disk 1, which they're all NTFS boot partitions. Are showing two boot partitions in there. I have the primary disk, which has used about 465 GB used on there out of 500, so I've got quite a lot of data that's actually been used, and it's showing a small boot partition of only 39 megabytes. And on my second drive, which is fairly empty, it's showing a small boot partition, and then it's showing I've only used 27 GB out of 465. That's my second hard drive, which is fairly empty. It's a Windows 10, so we're not going to be using that at all. This is the one that I want to copy over onto the new SSD drive. This is 465 GB used, and it's showing 465 GB used with the very minimum space left. Now, what are the advantages of upgrading to an SSD drive? There are a few, guys. First of all, it gives you slightly faster response time. Your games will load faster. Your software your computer will start up faster, so you'll feel it noticeably quicker to load, and there won't be such a lag time as there is on a normal hard drive. It's very easy to install. There are just two ports at the back. So we've got the SATA power cable, and we've got the SATA data drive cable. So just two cords should fit inside there. So once you've downloaded the Macrim Reflect software, it will give you an option like this. It will show you all your boot partitions, all the disk drives actually connected to the computer, and then it'll ask you which one would you like to copy, or it'll give you two options as image this disk or clone this disk. Click on clone this disk, and then you'll get the primary or your target hard drive which needs to be copied, and it will start a progress. It takes about 2 hours, guys, depending on the amount of data that you want to transfer over. The more data there is, the more it wasn't terribly long, to be honest with you. I mean, I just clicked on progress, watched the progress bars just go through, and it actually in a couple of hours I was done, and I was amazed. It copied all the password, copied all my games, all my software, all the CD keys. Everything was an exact clone of my original hard drive. I didn't lose anything. I didn't have any compatibility issues. I didn't have any issues with my software not loading properly, not opening properly. Just to give you an idea, so I'm actually going to turn this off now. This is my original disk that was cloned onto the new one. So I was quite surprised because I didn't want to lose my gaming data. It took me ages to get my games collection together, and I was worried that I might actually end up losing something. So we're just going to give it 2 seconds to shut down, and that's done now, guys. So I'm just going to ask my friend to give me a hand while I switch these cables over for you. And we're using a 55-inch Ultra HD 4K Smart TV as a monitor as well. Right, so first thing you need to do, guys, is open the side case, which I've already opened for you. So this is my primary disk that I wanted to copy from. So all I need to do is to carefully remove. I'll try and balance some light onto there for you if I can. There we go. So all we need to do is to remove the power cable, sorry, the SATA data cable, and onto the back of your SSD. There we go. Just click that back onto there. There we go, that's connected. And then I already have an empty power cable there, so I'm just going to slide that through. I'm not actually going to screw my new SSD drive inside the hard drive bays because I need it elsewhere later on, so I'm just going to actually temporarily slide that in. And right, let's just see if I can get this power cable connected. Oh, there we go. There we go, guys. Make sure it's a click, and it's just a 2-second job once it's done. So that's the SATA data cable connected, that's the power cable connected, and my primary drive has now been disconnected. Just to make sure, I'm also going to disconnect the secondary drive that I have on there, so that it actually just boots from the SSD drive, and then hopefully we should have all the data that was in there. Right, I'm just going to try and remove this SATA cable. There we go. So that SATA cable's been removed from my old hard drive, and the SATA cable, data cable's been connected to my new SSD drive. Right, guys. So hopefully that's just a 2-minute job. So connect the power cable, connect the data cable, and your primary, your old drive has been disabled now. Right, let's give it a try. Right, and and that's loading now on my new SSD drive, and if you just bear with me 2 seconds while it loads on. And there we go guys, so it's just going to start up my Windows again, and in a few seconds you should see the exact same background that I had. There we go guys. So that is actually now booting from the new SSD drive, and as you can see I've retained all of my data. It's actually just an exact clone of my original hard drive, and it, as you can see, it loaded a lot quicker, took about 30 seconds to get going, and I managed to retain all of my games, all of my passwords, all of my software, all of my videos are on there as well. So if I could just point out to you, my Star Wars, my Doom collection, Call of Duty collection, everything is still exactly as it was on the original hard drive that I came. So God forbid if I had a horrible crash and I lost all my data on my existing 500 GB drive, then I've got my exact same clone on the SSD drive, which actually loads faster, games load faster, and everything is back to normal again without any issues. So I've got a complete clone using this software Macrum Reflect, which is absolutely an amazing software to use guys, and it's completely for free. So all you need to do is to find an SSD drive that fits your capacity. If you've got 240 gigs of data, just buy a 240 GB SSD drive and that will do. And after that, all you need to do is to download Macrum Reflect, which is an awesome software available for free. Go for the 30 days free trial guys, and after that it will show you. So as you can see, I've opened it up again and it's just showing one primary drive, which is the SSD Evo 500 GB, and it's showing that it's used 465 GB, which is exactly what I showed at the beginning of my video on my primary drive, and it's copied the exact 465 GBs, leaving just a tiny bit of empty space, and that is now active as my one primary drive. And this can also be cloned onto another disk if I wanted to. It's giving me an option there. So all I had to do was add another SSD drive onto one of my power and SATA cables, and then I could clone it as many times as I wanted to. Just a very simple backup storage solution guys. If you have any precious data that you wanted to keep, make a clone of, exact image, save all your precious data, save all your files without fear of having crashes and losing data. This is a very simple way of doing it. Anyway guys, thank you so much. Hope you found this video useful. And Macrum Reflect, again, you can just download that software for free. It's very easy. Just register your email address onto there and they'll send you a password, CD key, log that in, download, run the system, and after that, it's about 5 or 10 minutes, you'll have the software there for use on 30 days trial period. Anyway guys, hope you found this data useful. Thank you so much. A huge shout out to all my young drivers, all the subscribers, everybody that actually watched our video guys. We are extremely grateful for your kind and generous support. Thank you so much. Please kindly like or subscribe this video if you found it useful. Subscribe to our channel, we'll keep bringing you more useful videos. In the meantime guys, thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.